like this. There we go, jazz hands. There you go, Tim. A Novak Conversions jazz hands from Tim. Walter's doing some kind of weird piece.
I'm hanging loose, man. I'm hanging loose.
Yeah, he's hooking a wave or some kind of weird thing like that. We are live. We are live. This is episode, I don't know, I think it's like episode 212 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast, live from the Strange Media Studios here in Gainesville. And our special guest tonight is Novak Conversions. We've got Tim from Novak Conversions. And hey, Tim, what's up, man?
Good. I'm just happy to be here, brother.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And the reason, this is not the only reason, we're really happy to have Novak Conversions on. But one of the big reasons that we have them on is because Novak Conversions is one of the stops on the Convoy across America that we're doing with Brownells. You guys are, I believe that you're, what is it, July 23rd?
23rd, yes.
Yes, July 23rd. So I got to pull this thing up here because I'm really terrible with dates and all those kinds of things.
So Tim, the Jeep that Brownells currently have you guys had your fingers in that already, or?
Oh, yes, we did. It's a fun one too. It's a 500 horsepower LS3 sitting in the JK 4-door.
Okay, I was going to ask you about LS engines. That was one of my questions.
Yeah, they didn't just have their fingers on there, man. They did like the full shaft, all the way up in there.
No, we stripped everything out from underneath that. Literally, suspension, everything. It was sitting in the air on a frame. That is it. It's all new.
Yeah. And that's going to be, you're all done with that, right?
We're done with our portion, correct.
Okay, cool. So is that going to be on the Convoy across America?
That's my understanding, yes. The guys from Brownells will be driving it cross country.
Okay, cool. You know, so there's going to be a little bit of racing going on, kind of a V8 in there. That's what you guys do, right?
That's correct. Not too many things in your group, I think, will beat it.
Yeah, probably not. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. So we're gonna talk to Tim here. We're gonna have a really good conversation about that. Lots of other things going on in the news that I'm sure you guys want to talk about. Yesterday was the 4th of July. Obviously, we weren't here. Hope everyone out there had a safe, happy, fun 4th of July. How was yours, Tim?
It was awesome. Great time with family and friends. The Novak family, we went to a big fireworks show. We grilled. We did everything you normally do on Independence Day.
Awesome. What about you, Walter? What'd you get up to?
I'm tired, man. I need a day off.
No days off for you, Walter.
When you have a party at your house, it's like work. You know, you gotta. I had to make the food and and help set things up and then clean up and so I need a day off.
So you didn't have a good time? I'm sure.
Yeah, no, we had a good time. It was a good party. We had like in the parade we had like 13 vehicles, 13 trucks.
Yeah. I need to come out and do that with you next year.
All shapes and sizes and vintages, and military trucks, that is. And then we all came to my house and fired up the grill and opened up the bar and
awesome.
made fools of ourselves. Yes.
Awesome. I had a good 4th of July as well. Like I said, I just chilled out at home with the family and watched sci-fi movies. So there you go.
Or was it all like redos for you?
No, I watched a lot of stuff that I have seen already, but we did watch Ready Player One, which was freaking awesome. I think we wound up watching that a couple times.
Oh wow.
So that was a really good, that's the Spielberg movie about these people, like, virtual reality video games with a very heavy 80s theme. So, I am like an 80s baby. So, I'm not really an 80s baby. I was born in the 70s, but grew up in the 80s. So there was a lot of nostalgic, cool stuff in there from the 80s, 90s and all of that, and even current stuff. So I think it was really well done, really good movie.
Cool.
So that's pretty much what we did. You know what I'm going to do first before we get deep into this conversation? I'm going to go over here to the chat and shout out everyone in the chat. Please, folks, make sure you hit the thumbs ups and share this and all that kind of stuff. I've shared it on social media. So is Tim. Walter, make sure you share it.
I'm slow,
Yeah, sure. I know you're recovering from yesterday.
No, I'm just tired. That's all.
Yeah, recovering from yesterday. If Walter goes to sleep, we'll just get it. Do you have an air horn over there, Tim?
Just man.
Yeah,
I can blast him awake.
Yeah, just give me a warning first so I can take my headsets off. Yeah, we'll blast it away. I'm sure. Listen, Walter is talking about one of his favorite things, vehicles.
Oh yeah. I said I got questions. I got questions.
Yeah, exactly. So let me go over here in the chat. I'm gonna thank folks in here. So let's see. Christopher Williams looks like he was in there. Let's see. Robert McRae. I see Corey Williams as well. Matt Morse, Psycho 316, Hamburger Helper, Brian Quick, Caviar Hound, Boss Hog. I edit my sub MOA. So there you go. Let's see who else we got in here. We've got The Archangel, Bricks, Chris Bolus, Strange Media Moderator, Mr. Bullshitter is also in here. I haven't seen him in a while, but glad to see him back in here. Maybe I just haven't seen his comments or anything like that. Harry's Holsters is also in here. E-Rock, shout out to Harry's Holsters. E-Rock is in here. STL Storm Spotter, James Lawson, Special K, SoCal Gunner. CB, Mike Bryant, John Gillian, John V, James Miller. Let's see, what's Harry's Holsters is in there shouting everyone out right now. Moobut is also here. Moobut says, happy day after America birthday.
We got, like I said before, we got ripped off. Tuesday was like a Friday. Today's like a Monday. And tomorrow's Friday again. It's like
it's good we get 2 Fridays in 1 week.
Yeah, I know, but I'm out of my cycle.
Just might as well take. We should have just taken today and then. No, but you know what? We can't do that. We have to promote the convoy across America.
Yes.
It must be done. It has to be done. So I'm actually looking forward to it. Believe it or not, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I would like to go the whole way, but I just can't. So
yeah, you're gonna miss out, man. I'm going to Novak Jeep Conversions.
Maybe I'll ride out. Who's riding with you?
It's just gonna be me. Lola is gonna probably be with me at the kickoff on July 16th. Yeah. That's at the Aries Range in Leesburg, Florida. Lola's gonna come in, but she's working, so she can't go on the whole trip with me. So it's just going to be me riding in the car. Maybe some people will ride shotgun with me along the way. But you're welcome to come out, man. You can get on a plane, fly out, meet us or something.
Yeah. I hate that idea of driving all the way back to California when it's done.
Well, you could fly out there, meet me. Then we can, when it's done in California, we could both drive back. No.
Yeah, but then I missed everything then.
No, I understand.
You'd probably want to drive back.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be. I enjoy driving. I don't know. Obviously, Walter, you're not.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind a road trip. I'm not like that or anything. It's just the time, I guess we'll say.
Yeah.
Right now, it's kind of busy with making new stuff and and I don't want to leave and not kind of being part of that. I'm part of that. So
yeah, somebody has to make the guns so that I can shoot them. Yeah. When I get back, I want to be shooting lots of guns that will be made.
Well, I got to do that, so I can buy me some Jeep stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we need to do a project. We need to do a safety harbor project, we need to make it a V8. And if only we knew someone that could put a V8 in a Jeep. I don't know.
A 715 project would be nice.
Maybe this guy.
I know a guy.
Yeah, exactly.
A guy,
yeah, exactly. We do know a guy. I see MW Tactical here in the hangout as well. Let me see if I'm missing anyone. If I missed anyone, just let me know. I see Kiyaski, Paul K, John Brown, Tango Hunter, MDS 8168, Cowboy 3353, Treadhead. Shout out to all those guys. Jerry Woodman, Paul K. Shout out to everyone there. If I missed anyone, let me know. I'll definitely give you a shout out. Also, guys, let us know what questions you have for Novak Jeep Conversions, or which one is it? Is it Novak Conversions, Novak Jeep Conversions?
It's Novak Conversions, but just to clarify that we specialize in Jeeps. When we created our social media platforms, we just threw the Jeep in there.
Oh, okay.
But the business
okay, cool.
Actually Novak Conversions.
Yes. So let us know who out there has a Jeep. One of the most awesome cars made in America. There's lots of cool cars made here. But the Jeep is iconic. The Jeep is iconic. We're going to talk about the Jeep. Maybe we'll talk about FCA a little bit. That should bring everyone a little bit of joy. Probably not. Yeah, maybe we'll talk about the rumors. I know China wants to buy Jeep over our cold dead body.
Sure.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. I don't know. We might be seeing electric Jeeps.
That'd be a cold day in hell. So
that's I mean, FCA said that they are going. FCA said they're going 100% electric in 5 years.
When they don't sell 5 cars in a month, then they'll find how much they like that electric garbage.
Yeah. When all those used Jeeps become even more valuable, So, what do you think about that, Tim?
I think it's a horrible marketing move. I don't think it would sell. That Jeep crowd, the hardcore Jeep crowd, will never buy onto that.
Yeah, I mean, do you think a electric Jeep is going to be able to do like rock climbing and all that kind of stuff?
Oh, absolutely.
Sure.
If you watch like some of the videos, you see Tesla out accelerating Camaros and Corvettes.
Oh,
I mean, the nice thing about electric power is that it's instant torque, instant on. It doesn't build; it's just instantly there. So they can be a rocket ship like that. And from a hunting standpoint, I like the idea of a quiet vehicle. So instead of a loud diesel or something, But
okay,
I don't think it'll catch on.
Yeah, the thing that I mean, I'm not knocking electric overall, but like in a Jeep, in an adventure vehicle, like where do you put the extra batteries?
Where do you charge at?
Yeah, I mean, there's solar power, but that's going to take some time.
It doesn't do it fast enough.
Yeah, so where would you? You could get you can get one of those cans that looks real cool, right? There's all kinds of stuff that you could put on your Jeep, including a cage that holds a can or whatever, but that can isn't going to hold enough juice.
No, limited range for sure.
Yeah, so that kind of that's interesting. Unless they do a hybrid, yeah,
in like a diesel electric situation where you can charge your own batteries and do that kind of thing, that's cool. But straight up electric, not me, bud. Nope.
Yeah. So any plan in the future, Tim? Could we see Novak doing a hybrid electric conversion?
I will never say never. We talked about that in the past. Nothing's come to fruition yet, but never say never.
Oh, okay. If you do, it must be named the Hank.
I saw a clip someplace I was watching, a company out in California that does electric conversions, where they'll take your Porsche. For example, you pull your Porsche and they'll pull out the engine, pull electric motor, the batteries, the whole 9 yards, and next thing you got an electric car. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's cool, I guess, if that's what you want. If you're using it like a commuter or something, I guess that's fine.
Yeah. The conversion I would like to do, no kidding, I like the natural gas conversions.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've seen any of those. I think that's a cool idea because in America we have a lot of natural gas, and I think it's 50% cleaner than gasoline. So
true. And when you go to the hardcore rock crawling competitions, you'll see quite a few of these buggies that are run on propane too. Even.
Yeah.
And it doesn't care whether you're upside down or which way it's going to run. So. Yep.
And that's the reason why they do it exactly.
Yep. Yeah. I would like to see something like that. That would be cool. Bricks on the subject of I'm thinking that this has to do with either FCA selling Jeep or the electric Jeep. But Brick says not no, but hell no.
Right. Couldn't agree more, brother.
And Cyrus 308 says if the money is right, Jeep will sell. I hope not.
It's like, will it kill? It will kill.
I think that Jeep is the most valuable thing in FCA so far as the American brands, right?
Exactly.
Jeep is more valuable than like Dodge. I'm not trying to knock Dodge. I have a Ram Rebel, but Dodge, Ram, all those kinds of things are not as valuable as Jeep.
I have to wonder how the company would survive if they sold off Jeep, quite frankly.
Well, they were talking about getting rid of Chrysler in general. The whole Chrysler section.
Yeah.
Would that fall
I think
under?
they were going to.
The Jeep still fall under Chrysler's? I mean, is that all that area or what? I don't know.
No, they're technically separate. So even though the dealerships look like Ram, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and even now they sell some Fiats in those dealerships, I think they're really separate. And I agree with Tim, man. If they get rid of Jeep, like what? That's the halo.
I guess.
You know, I mean, think about that. The other stuff is really, I don't want to say it's boring, but it's close to it. You know, it's there's some cool things like, you know, I had a Dodge Challenger and stuff like that, but oh man, that's if they're going to go electric, they're probably going to slowly move away from things like that. And you can't really, the thing with electric is you can't have really heavy vehicles because you're just not going to have that that mileage and stuff like that. So
sucks down the battery. Yep.
Yeah. So if you guys have questions, let us know. Let's see what's going on here. Jules Norton says, hey guys, I have an 87 Jeep Cherokee. That's cool. Let us know who Cyrus at 308 says Jeep is an icon. You know, got lots of stuff coming in here on that. So you know what? Before we get deep into that, let's actually find out from Tim, what is Novak Conversions? Where are you guys? What do you guys do?
This is actually our 51st year. We just had a 50th anniversary last year and did a big celebration. We are in extreme northern Utah. If you know where Salt Lake City is, we're about an hour and a half north of there, and we're just minutes from the Idaho border. Nestled in a nice little valley with beautiful big mountains on each side of us. And nice community, great place to work, and a great place to Jeep. But we're all Jeep. That's all we do. We have, since day one, we manufacture all the components to convert Jeeps to V8s or even just rebuild the existing transmissions and transfer cases, you know, from like a restoration standpoint. But we manufacture all the components to put V8s in all the different Jeep models, including the new JL. We'll be doing one of those here in about a month or two, and it'll be in SEMA as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that was going to be my first question. Are you guys doing, you know, is it specific Jeeps or is it all of them, including the new one? So you're saying you're getting ready to come out with some stuff for the new one.
Yeah, the new JL. I know a lot of your followers, since the whole Jeep and gun world go hand in hand, a lot of us Jeep owners are gun owners and vice versa. Mm-hmm. We're probably aware of Black Ops 4x4 out of California. Every Jeep, he owns just about every iconic Jeep made, from CJs and flat fenders on up to JKs. Well, he now has purchased a JL. In fact, he had, I think, the first one in the country. Flew out to Toledo, Ohio to buy it because he wanted it before anybody else did, and then drove it home. And he's now got it with 49-inch tires under it and some big, heavy 70 series Curry axles under it. And the next step after he's got that all buttoned up is to bring it up here, and we're going to stuff a. For those who are familiar with the Chevy powertrains, that's what the GM powertrains are really what we specialize in. And I could go on for hours probably about the reasons why, but we're going to put what they call a Gen 5 engine and transmission in it. It'll be a 6.2 liter with an 8-speed transmission. They call it the 8L90. It's like what would come in 3/4 and 1-ton trucks, and it's a pretty stout setup, and it's going to make that Jeep a blast to drive.
That's all. Did you have a question here, Walter?
Well, I'm just at what point does it not, aside from the grill on the front, but at some point it's not a Jeep anymore. When everything is everything like those axles you mentioned, those are badass. So yeah, and the drivetrain, and then, you know, by the time you get done, it's like, what happened to the Jeep?
The body and frame are still Jeep.
the skin is there, yes.
But Jeeps, you know what? Okay, so Jeeps are a lot like the AR-15. They are Legos for grown-ups, right? I mean, yeah, this is the thing, and I think that there's so many aftermarket parts for Jeep. Are there really any just like regular Jeeps out there? Obviously, maybe if someone's getting a new one, or they bought something fully loaded from the dealership, but lots of people really enjoy the experience of building up their Jeep and customizing it to what they want.
Absolutely. You can personalize them as much as anything in this world. You know, I've always said, kind of along the lines of what you said, I've always said Jeeps are to guys in you know, mechanized guys as iPods are and iPhones are to kids, because everybody and their dog makes accessories for iPods and iPhones and all that, but Jeeps are the same way. Everybody and their dog is clamoring to make whatever accessory they can for the newest model and the first one to market with this or the first one to market with that. And everybody that owns a Jeep always says, you're never done building your Jeep. There's always something you want to do to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's always some other cool little part you see somebody else has got and you don't have.
Absolutely. And we all know what Jeep stands for, right? Just empty every pocket.
No, I didn't know that, but yeah, that's
true. Gonna have to use that one now. Gonna have to use that one. I think there's like Walter and I go to SEMA show. I think I was asking you off air if you guys have ever been or if you're going to SEMA show.
We have this year. This year it's happening.
Okay, so this year you guys will be at SEMA show, and I think you're going to be with what's the name of the that Jeep guy you were just talking about?
4x4. We'll be in the booth that we'll be in is the Vision Wheel booth.
The Vision Wheel booth. Okay, cool. Yeah, when you go to SEMA show, for anyone who's ever been, Walter and I have been there. Jeeps are the most prevalent vehicle at SEMA show. Right or wrong, Walter?
There's a lot of them. A lot of people making parts and pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, you can pretty much get anything for a Jeep. There's convertible, like powered convertible tops.
Right.
You could this. I mean, I just can't go into how many things exist for Jeeps. So
you can go if you like to have things luxurious and that kind of. You can go real luxurious, or you can go real like manly and have it where it actually works like a truck.
Yeah. So we saw, what was the name of that? We saw this top at SEMA show last year that makes your Jeep look like a Range Rover. Remember that?
Yeah, it extended the roof. It increased the roof height inside. Yeah.
Yeah, the headroom and stuff like that. Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of things. Now let me ask you, Tim, how popular is the doing the V8 conversion? How many have you guys done?
Oh, to be honest with you, we've sold the product to do it in kits, individual components or kits over the years, far more than we've done installs. We actually just a few months back, earlier this year, opened our own install bay, and that's actually where I'm sitting. You can see our brothers from Brownells poster back there.
Yes, shout out to Brownells.
Right, but those guys are great, aren't they?
Absolutely.
But, so we're basically just now getting into the install portion of it. Typically in the past, we've done it for R&D purposes and refinement and things like that. But over the years, our salesmen keep saying they got guys asking if we'd install it, because who better to install it than those who developed it, Right. So I said it's a revenue stream for us, and we always want to give our employees more benefits and make their lives better. So let's do it. So we jumped in full bore, and as you can see, we're doing conversions now.
Okay, cool. So I'm trying to remember how you guys have been around for a while, right? When did you say you? 51 years. Okay, so in that time, you've been selling the kits to convert it, right? Because that's what the company was originally started. How many of those kits do you think you guys sold?
I would say 10,000. It's in the thousands.
Okay, cool. So so now you guys are actually getting into doing it there. I know you do have a video on your YouTube channel. Do you want to just tell people real quick what's your social media? How can they get in touch with you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. So Facebook is simply Novak Conversions, and we haven't really supported that platform a whole lot until the last 6 to 12 months, maybe, if even that. But we're being more active now on Facebook. But Instagram, we've been really active on and had a great response, quite frankly. You can pretty much track business from Instagram, depending on the quality of the post. But we're at Novak Jeep Conversions, and then I run my own Tim _Novak Jeep Conversions.
Okay, cool.
And, we just post a lot of stuff on there that guys want to see, builds that are in progress, what it takes to R&D something and make it fit. And a lot of these guys are really interested in the hardcore aspects of it instead of just the finished project and what it looks like. So we try to give everybody as much information as we can.
Okay, cool. So the thing that I really want to know here is it difficult to put this in? What's the so if you're like if you're not mechanically inclined like me, and if you don't have really the tools and stuff like that,
no,
it's not gonna work.
If that's the case, you don't want to do it. You want to bring it to us. We even arrange shipping nationwide. We're always arranging shipping and having it brought to us. And, a lot of guys will fly out and drive the finished product home.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was going to say before. I know on the YouTube channel, I saw Yeti and Yolo come out there, and they did their own I think they limped into your into your shop there to get it done.
They did.
Yeah, that was cool. That was actually cool to see. Those are good guys.
They are great guys and excellent brand ambassadors. It was kind of funny how that all came about. Do you want me to kind of give a little background?
Yeah. Tell folks out there what exactly happened with Yeti. If you don't know Yeti and Yolo, explain who those guys are.
I don't really know. I saw the video thing, but I don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeti and Yolo are a great couple. They're two people they're both from California. They met through social media. Both hardcore Jeepers, both of them, and that kind of brought them together. But they kind of decided to just leave their lives. You know, they had good, well-paying jobs in California, but just knew there was something more out there for them. And so these guys live full-time out of their Jeeps now, and they've got the tent top, the rooftop mounted trailer, or tent, I should say, and the trailers, and they're fully outfitted. They're great brand ambassadors for us and any other company as well. And so it was really funny. I noticed on Instagram, I don't even remember how I came across Yeti, but that time that they were out in Wyoming, that's about a couple hours from us is all. They buried their Jeep in mud. They basically ruined the transmission. And I just said, hey, we're not too far away. If you need some help, just reach out to us. We'd be glad to help. And left it at that. And a while later, a few months, 6 to 8 months later, I got a message from Yeti one night saying that they're going to compete in the 36 Hours URI event in North Carolina, and they're going to compete in the pro class, and they wanted to be the only team that drove their rig to and from. You know, they didn't fly in and have a crew bring their semi-trailer with their truck and a crew and all that. They're a two-man team, and they do everything themselves from repairs to everything, training and the event. So they asked if we wouldn't mind helping out. We've got a transmission that they burn up in Wyoming, and it wouldn't make it the full distance. And I got that on a Sunday night, late at night, and I told my wife, I thought, this would be kind of cool. We could build what they call a 32 RH transmission. It's a 3-speed, non-overdrive transmission. It came in those TJs, 97-04 Jeeps, and we could rebuild the transmission for them and help them out and get them back to North Carolina from San Diego. And then I thought, man, he's never had overdrive, though. It'd probably be a lot easier to drive that thing on the highway with overdrive. So we could do a 42 RH. But then you're talking about a whole, wiring change and a computer change, and you're still stuck with a crappy Jeep powertrain that's got 200,000 miles or whatever it was on it and has trouble pulling that trailer. So the thought came to me, you know what? We could go all in here, and we could put an LS engine and transmission combination in that and really do it up nice for them and make it a reliable, powerful rig. And then so I sent a text that Sunday night to a few of my coworkers and leadership folks like me and said, I got this idea. Let's talk about this in the morning, but formulate your thoughts. And we got here the next morning, and everybody was like, man, this is awesome. We should jump all in on this, even our owner. And so that's what we did. And we kind of copied one of the episodes. I think it was it Dirt Every Day or one of those shows where they went to I think it was a Jegs, and in their parking lot, they bought an old Caprice or Impala or something, and they bought a crate engine and everything it took to make a hot rod out of that car and did it in the parking lot, So,
yeah, I think that was Dirt Every Day.
Yeah, Fred?
One of those shows. Yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that was kind of where we started with it.
They messed up that parking lot.
I bet they did.
Yeah.
One of my coworkers said, well, what if we do that, but we change it up a bit and we have them do their own conversion? Because if they're going to be competing in this event, they need to know how to fix their own rig. So if we have them do their own conversion and we film it and put it on YouTube and all these kind of things, so we just ran with that. And so we put together a really nice powertrain for them. And I don't know if you've seen the video or pictures of it, but you can check it out on our YouTube channel. And it turned out really nice. It's reliable. It's got more than enough power. And when he was competing in that 36-hour event, people were amazed at how fast he could drive that rig through the course and how well he can handle it. And so it worked out really well.
Yeah, for all the guys out there, you should definitely check out Novak Conversions on YouTube. I think it's YouTube/Novak Conversions, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. And Yeti and Yolo, if you don't know, I met them at the Brownells event that I did. I think that was like way back last year. And you probably see them in my videos, as well as videos from the other folks that are out there. These are gun guys as well, They're
big time.
Yeah, they're into guns and all that kind of stuff. I still think that Yeti stalked Yolo, then hypnotized her. You know, because
You would think, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I don't know how exactly. No.
You keep saying guys. You keep saying guys. There's one guy and one chick. So
yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, that guy has cooked for me before, and I think he just wined her and dined her with his ability.
Yes, yeah, he's a good. But these guys actually lived a life. When we were doing the Brownells event, I think the last thing we did is we spent the night on the beach, and because we went fishing during the day. So everything we caught, we brought back to the beach, and Yeti cooked everything. You know, he's an excellent cook. You know, they're really cool people. I don't know. I mean, it probably seems like, oh yeah, you know, but those guys are really cool people. So really, what do you want me to say, Walter? Nice, a nice young man and a young lady.
No, I mean those guys. It's like I said. I watched the video. There's somebody there who's not a guy.
No, there's nothing guy-ish.
No, I was gonna say one of those ain't a guy.
Yeah, no, she's not. But they're really good people. It's like, you know, I mean, I cannot overstate it. They're really good folks, and they're actually living like that whole overlanding, the adventure thing that lots of people out there say they're gonna do. These guys actually live on the road.
It's not that easy to do. You gotta. Unfortunately, it still takes money
they're incredibly committed to what they do. Incredibly committed. And you know, as far as a brand ambassador, like they represent other brands as well, and they'll test products and things like that. I have never seen people that represent products so well test them thoroughly and give honest feedback on them, but they will never disparage a company's name that they represent, and they're just some really down-to-earth, honest, good people. Yeah.
They're good folks. You guys should check that out. I think it's a good story. There's a good story in there about how they met and all that kind of stuff. So, all right. So basically, someone like me, not capable of doing this, got to send it in to you.
Well, right? That's a lot easier. Instead of having to have somebody come and fix what you didn't get right.
Yeah, it's not. It sounds like it's not. Yeah, it's not plug and play.
Yeah,
exactly. And you need some tools. Let me ask you something, Tim. How come? Why do you think that Jeep never, you know, hasn't done this? Like, why hasn't Jeep made these options available?
You know, I've questioned this for years, and I always say it whenever a new model comes out. I just say how grateful I am they're too dumb to put a big, powerful V8 in it.
EPA.
Yeah, but we make it burn clean.
California, EPA.
Yeah, there is that.
Yeah, cafe standards, man.
Yeah. All that terrible stuff.
Yeah, that stupid cafe standard from California. And I know you're a California guy, Tim. Sorry, but California is ruining the world.
I escaped many years ago.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm surprised that they, you know, I think they should have done it, but they haven't done it. Obviously, that leaves an opportunity open for you, right? You know, and that's the thing that we're about here in America. So,
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
I mean, you always, you know, being able to make it the way you want it versus the way they want it. You know, I mean,
yeah,
and that's that. I was going to ask you, when you do the LS swaps, the aluminum LS or cast iron LS?
Both, all of the above.
Depends on how much money you want to spend.
You know what? There's some of the well, in fact, I don't know if you can see over my shoulder here. You see that nice, pretty engine behind me there?
Right.
That's a TJ chassis. We actually took that to the Salt Lake Off-Road Expo a couple months ago, and we took the body off of the TJ so that we could just have a rolling chassis with the whole conversion powertrain in it. So guys that are do-it-yourselfers and want and can do it themselves can actually see how doable it is. Really,
right?
It's really not that hard when you have some mechanical skills. Maybe the hardest part is probably welding the mounts in, you know, placement and welding.
Yeah. And then a lot of electronics now is plug and play with harnesses and stuff like that. So,
yeah, we rework the GM harness and customize it so it fits right in your Jeep in this particular situation. And it's plug and play with I believe it's about 6 wires to solder. And that's about it.
Is it tunable? The electronics tunable in there? Okay.
Absolutely. In fact, that's what a lot of shops have been finding out they like about us, is that some of the other companies out there that do LS swaps and things of that nature, what you get is what you get. You can never change anything because of the way they've configured it. But, you know, we'll put a bigger cam in it for you if you want. We'll do a custom tune on it if you want. The sky's the limit. supercharger. It doesn't matter.
It all depends how much money.
Yeah. Well, that's the next question. What price levels are we looking here? So, let's say I want all positions. I want it fully blown out, tuned up. What am I looking at here? Price is not an object kind of guy that comes in there and say, I want the most. What's the most power we can get, and what would that cost?
Dude, there are so many options available. I don't even think we have enough time tonight to go over it. But you can do, if you're just talking about the LS platform, there's Gen 3, Gen 4, and Gen 5 that refers to the different year ranges and the changes they made on them in there. And sometimes, depending on the year of the vehicle and the emission standards where you live, you might be required to use a certain one. A lot of places that have emission standards, you have to use the same year or newer than the
Just so you know, Tim, we live in Florida. Florida has no standards.
they got rid of emissions testing when they found out it didn't make any difference.
No standards.
Yeah, the standards are real. Have you ever seen Florida on the news?
Well, all of your air just blows out to sea anyways, right?
Yeah. So, I obviously I know there's lots of different options and prices and stuff like that. But just for someone watching this interested, I'm trying to see what's the real high end, dream, and then maybe also give us something on a low end that someone could do. It's like a entry level project, maybe in the middle kind of a deal.
Sure. I think probably on an entry level, and once again, there's some variables involved there. You'd probably be looking 20 to 25 grand for a full powertrain conversion, running out the door. And if anybody saw that the Brownells build that we did, it's a 2010, I believe it was, a JKU, they call them, a 4-door. We did a LS3 that was 500 horse LS3. We did a custom tune on it, of course, but a 6L80, that's a 6-speed transmission. And then we built the transfer case for it. They call it a 241J. It's what would come in those Jeep JKs that are the non-Rubicon edition. And then we did Terraflex heavy-duty axles, some 60 series axles from Terraflex that are amazing. They call it a high pinion, so lockers front and rear, absolutely, ARBs, as well as a high pinion, both front and rear, so it gives you a lot better ground clearance.
Yeah,
drive shafts are up higher, less damage potential if you're climbing over rocks. Full Terraflex suspension on it. I wasn't joking when I said we cut everything off of that frame. So it's all new brackets, control arms, everything, and they call it a long arm kit. So those control arms are a lot longer and allows a lot more travel and flex out of those axles. You'd be amazed if you could see what that thing would flex out to. But something like that with all the doodads we did, if I remember right, that would probably run somebody closer to the $60,000 mark by the time you get that far into it. But the sky's the limit.
Yeah, that's pretty much approaching like monster truck.
Well,
no,
not really. No,
no. It could be worse than that. It really would.
You get to go for a ride on that convoy across America with the Brownells guys. I hope they let you in it, because it is the smoothest thing. I was sitting in the passenger seat while we were data logging, and Yeti was driving, and I just told him to mash it so it'd go through all the gears and we could get some good data for the tuner, and we hit 111 miles an hour in no time. I put it on my Instagram account. And had to back out of it because of traffic, and then all of a sudden a cop come the other direction. But there was a lot more to give, and we were both noticing how smooth it was. It wasn't rough riding. There wasn't a ton of vibration. It got up and went.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, that's good. For those in where's Brownells is in it's Iowa, right? Yeah. Those massive mountains in Iowa. That they're going to have to commute through to get to work every day.
Massive mountain. Amber waves corn.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, though. I'm looking forward to driving it. I don't know if they will let me drive it, I might have to swap keys or something like that with them, but I'll be happy to do it.
They'll never notice.
Yeah.
Could they put a 10 on top of the R8?
Actually, you know what? I won't talk about any details or specifics. I know they don't want that out yet, but Yeti is doing, he just finished customizing a whole bunch of stuff on the interior, and they're going to continue doing a lot more when this is done to the body, the exterior. It's going to become we call it the ultimate adventure rig.
Yeah, I heard it's going to be pretty badass, but I haven't seen anything yet, so I don't know. And you said so you've got the work that you guys did. That's all on Instagram, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We definitely have to check that out. Okay, where's Walter going? Walter's getting guns or something like that. All right, so I think we went from like entry level all the way up. What's like the average build that people do out there?
It'll fall anywhere in the $20,000 to $30,000 range. There's just so many options available, from size of engine and transmission, what you want done to it. We build the transmissions to different levels. Level 1, 2, and 3 is what we call them. But the higher the horsepower, the more you need to strengthen the transmission, in other words. So there's a few different things like that where we can customize it as.
Okay, Will Killer Keller, that's Walter's son. He says big turbo V8 street Comanche. And yeah, and Richard Hughes says tall hair day ? He's talking about me. It's haircut. I got get the mohawk up there.
That's one of my questions. Is everybody thinks Jeep and they think Jeeps, but I see in the background there's a old school. Is that a Wagoneer?
Yeah, let's lock it on Tim here for a sec.
That's a mid-50s Willis pickup.
Okay, like a wagon. I call them like a Wagoneer or whatever. Just not.
Yeah, you can only see the grill. That one's a whole frame off right there. It's getting I think it's a 2011 5.3 liter and 6-speed automatic, and
so it's going to go from it's going to look old school, but it's going to be modern.
Exactly.
Right,
all the creature comforts with heat and air conditioning and cruise control, all of the above.
So you guys do all that too. If somebody wants you to do it,
we do. We absolutely do.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So Hank, right there, that's a $60,000-$70,000 rig right there.
Yeah, it looks beautiful from what I could see. Like, I'm wishing right now that I could go in here and move around and actually get a look at it, because you're saying it's a pickup.
Yeah, it's a pickup. I don't know if you can see the chassis and drivetrain below it there.
Yeah, look at that. That's a beautiful thing.
So the frame has been completely sandblasted and painted, and it's all. And now the suspension is being put back on. And we're just about ready to set the body on it, but we're doing some work to the underside. It's going to Texas, and so we want to make a little heat reflective barrier and some things like that under it.
Once again, another vehicle it's hard to find that's not all rusted out.
Yeah, what was that again? I'm going to Google that right now, man. I want to see what that bad boy looks like. What was it? What vehicle was it again?
Let's put like 1955 Willis pickup.
Or you can type in Wagoneer, and you'll get that same front nose, but with a suburban type body on it.
Probably, if you get Wagoneer, wouldn't you probably get those in the 70s, I'll bet? The wood grain side panels, maybe?
Well, the Wagoneer brand, their name kept going, but they started back then. So.
Oh, those look sexy.
Yeah. Good lines, right? Classic line.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool trucks. They originally came with straight 4s or straight 6s.
Yeah. So, I'm sure there's not a lot of those left out there.
Not in good shape. No, this one came out of Arizona, so it's pretty close to as rust-free as you can get for the age.
Yeah.
Okay.
You find them here in Florida, and you got to be careful, man. There's a lot of Bondo buggies running around. So.
Yeah. So what should we be looking at it for prices and stuff like that when we're getting into these things? So like, let's say I wanted to find a project vehicle, because I know that Jeeps tend to hold their value. So if you're looking for something that has low rust on it, chassis is good and everything, what kind of prices are, acceptable?
I did hear it. I think, again, it varies a lot. Geographically, some areas of the country get better pricing than those. The Southwest, of course, the desert Southwest that just doesn't have a lot of corrosion problems, commands a high price for some of these vehicles. I know of one that was just picked up in Salt Lake City by a Jeep company here in town for $1,000. The couple that had it for 40 years, they were married and honeymooned in that truck, and they still had the original tires and rims in their basement that had not seen the light of day. Crazy.
Wow.
Once again, though, it's just running into the right people.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, $1,000 is a deal that people don't see all the time, I can tell you.
But I see that stuff, not in Florida, but you see it on some Jeep boards on Facebook and with the flat fender Jeeps, and you see these people find these barn finds and stuff, and a lot of them are not that bad, and they pay $800,000 for them.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, it needs to be completely gone through, but a lot of times you get a complete vehicle. that hasn't been messed with. You know, it doesn't have a 455 in it or something, or dog boxes welded on the back, and you know, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, or I've seen them where the frames are twisted and crooked and from tugging on things, and you know, boat gas tanks. You know, it's in good shape. There's no rust, and there's a marine Evinrude gas tank in the back. You know? No, I didn't.
So what's your dream project, Walter? That's what I'd like to know. What are we doing for the safety harbor build here? What are you thinking?
I don't know. It varies so much. Of course, you know, I have a Humvee too. That doesn't fall in the same category. But
Novak is not doing Humvees yet.
No, I know that. That's a whole other realm. But I do like what's up on the rack back there. I've always been kind of on the lookout for a decent truck with that style body. It's just hard to find here. A 715 would be nice. The military Jeep pickup. It looks like they call it the Commando.
Okay.
Even a civilian one of those that has been gone through and, you know, turned into a serious, seriously strengthened mechanically would be cool.
Yeah. Brian Quick says, bring back the Jeep Scrambler.
Absolutely.
Well, the Scrambler was just a long wheelbase Jeep, right?
Yeah, it's just a long wheelbase Jeep.
And that's what they've basically done.
Yeah.
They just brought back a long wheelbase and throw some extra doors on it. So you can throw
coming out with a 4-door pickup in the near future.
Yeah. I mean, and the Commando, which I said, the 715, that's a hot item too. People, after they've seen it, they go, "Oh, I like that. That looks tough." You know?
That's the thing we saw at we saw that at SEMA show as well.
Yeah. Years ago, I said they should do exactly what they're doing. They're coming up with is a Jeep, basically Jeep pickup with a Jeep front end and the doors, and then a pickup body in the back. And that's on the. I've seen they've got prototypes of that running around too.
Yeah, I mean, there's been kits out of those for a long time, right?
Yeah, you can build stuff. Yeah.
There's kits that you can build out of them. There's lots of different ways that you can go. We saw that. What was the name of the thing that we saw? This is like a hybrid of a Jeep and a what is it? Like a Cherokee, like the old Cherokees or something like that. Remember?
Well, there's
it had the front of a Jeep, and then the back part of it was like a Remember? Do you remember that?
Yeah, they had the body. That was next to the guys that had the retractable top. They had one of those on one of their trucks, but they have the. It's a Cherokee with a Jeep nose, or vice versa. I can't remember which one it was.
Is this the green one that they put the Cherokee front clip on the 4-door JK body?
I think so.
Could be, yeah.
I don't want to make any enemies, but when I saw that, I thought, what? Why? Great craftsmanship. The ability and the craftsmanship was amazing, but I don't understand why.
Because someone got bored and like, hey, why not? Let's do that.
That's like putting a Hemi in a Prius body. Okay, why'd they do that? It's an eye catcher.
Yeah. Marketing.
Or that not the Hemi, but whatever engine that was. Hank will tell you.
No, it was the Hellcat engine.
Hellcat engine in a Prius.
Yeah, a guy put a Hellcat engine in a Prius. But hey, you know what? He got on Jay Leno. So
that car got a lot of attention. So
yeah, he got that on Jay Leno. So I see the Tyven show said Walter. He said, I told Walter I'll cut down his 5-ton and make a rat rod out of it. Yeah.
No.
And Richard Hughes says he got spy video of the pickup, the new pickup truck that's coming up driving through Detroit.
I saw the other day in this area. I can't where I was driving. And there was a Jeep pickup. It was a gold color thing, and I'd never seen one before. It might have been a custom job, but it looked sharp. You know, it really did.
So let's see. GSE Yank 100 says, I just sold my 77 CJ5 with a 258 straight 6 not too long ago. Always been in Cali, so it wasn't in bad shape. I regret it every day.
Yep, I get it. Dude. My first car, my dad set me up with a 57 Chevy that when he brought it home, it had no drivetrain. He had to bolt wheels on it, had no interior. In fact, he sat on a milk crate upside down, his vice grips where the steering wheel would go just to get it home, and then using the emergency brake to slow it down.
Oh, geez.
Oh, he's a real man.
Yeah, I learned to build stuff out of that. You know, we don't put new master cylinders on. We learn to rebuild it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, do you really need it to have all that stuff in it if you're going to throw new stuff in there? I think you just need it to be straight and rust-free, right?
Right. Just got it anyways.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're going to put new everything.
New everything.
You're going to put new suspension, huh?
Yeah, well, I've always joked about that with Jeep, you know, that they're marketed as the world's best off-road vehicle, but yet in order to make it so, you have to change the transfer case, the axles, the suspension.
Yeah. So what do you think? I mean, how come Jeep doesn't make a bones version or like a stripped out version or a kit that people can just buy this thing and then because they're going to do all this stuff?
You heard a lawyer, right?
Yeah.
You heard a lawyer, right?
Yeah.
That's why you don't get stuff like that because of lawsuits.
Yeah. Someone might do it though. I mean, you can get body panels.
Yeah, Mahindra in India.
Yeah. Well, no, for the Ford, remember we were talking about it the other day for the Ford, for the Mustang.
Yeah, but that's just a strip body. I mean, you know.
Yeah. So why can't we just get a strip body for the Jeep, man?
Well, talk to the Italians. See what they say.
Yeah. No. Well, they won't listen to reason.
You're hot. Yeah.
Look what they've done to the front end on these things.
Yeah.
They look like Fiats now.
Yeah.
What, you don't like the 2019 front end?
Yeah, wait a minute. I got Fiats. Don't talk bad about Fiat. Keep the two separate. You know, far apart.
I know that little what do they call the there's one that's basically a Mazda. It's a Mazda.
The new Fiat.
Yeah, it's a little Mazda.
The Spider, the 124 or 120. Yeah.
It's basically just a little Mazda Miata. Come on.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Like use some imagination for crying out loud.
Welcome to the global economy, right? You know.
Yeah. Yeah. You think you could talk sense into dudes who say that in 5 years they're going all electric?
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
Some of us just like the sound of a V8, you know what?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that whole electric thing in the car, the car thing. And I'm riding around in the Fiat, the 500, or even there's ones you can get a lot better gas mileage than that. And why would I want to go have something I got to plug in and charge when I can get in a little diesel car, you can get 30, 40, 50 miles per gallon. Why?
Because you want to save the planet, Walter.
I want to use the planet like a Trojan and have a good time. Come on, man.
But you know what's funny? You know what's funny about all this?
The planet's like, it don't care.
Yeah, but when do you ever see someone in a Prius out in the wild?
You don't.
Right? Think about that. You don't.
I mean, that's their choice, you know.
Yeah, but the Jeep guys actually go out there and do stuff.
Well, some do.
And then, I hate to stay.
Crowd from what I hear.
Oh yeah, there we go. I know that was coming out. I was gonna say, and then the Toyota people, the guys with the 4Runners and the Tacomas and the Tundras have to go pull them out when they.
And
get
then
stuck.
I can just come out with my Pinzgauer, and I don't need anything to modify.
I do. I also have a 4Runner, by the way, Tim. I don't know if I told you.
You know what? 4Runners are cool in my book. And I can't believe how many people lately, believe it or not, over the last year, I'm shocked how many people have asked us to start doing an LS conversion for Tundras.
Really?
Oh my God! You know what? You should. That would be so badass.
Do they make a V8 in a Tundra? Or
They used to.
Well, the new Tundras, from 2006 or 7 on, they make that 5.7 liter, and they got a couple derivatives, but it's still a half-ton truck, and it's not that powerful. But the Tacomas, those are really kind of underpowered by the time you put big tires on them. I know there's a diehard crowd out there and a following for them, but the truth is they don't have V8 power.
So the Tundra, the V8 in the Tundra is what, like a 5.3 or something like that?
5.7.
Huh? 5.7?
5.7,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, it's not so much the size of the engine as how it's tuned and the cams and all that stuff. So, because you know what you can get out of a little V6 if it's running right, it can.
Yeah.
They can make it.
You talk to guys that have Tundras that tow their boats, and their mileage drops down to like 6 miles a gallon. They might as well have a big block at that point.
Right. And get 12.
Yeah, yeah, and still go up a hill.
Right.
Yeah, I think that when you go to a SEMA show, for example, we were talking about how many Jeeps you see. I think Jeep is number one in the vehicle you see the most of. And then after that, I think you see a lot of Tundras.
Yeah.
You see a lot of Tacomas. And then you see a lot of 4Runners. So wait, the 4Runner you don't get a V8 anymore in a 4Runner, right? I think because I don't think you do. I don't think you get a V8 anymore in a 4Runner. Huh?
I think it's that 3.4 liter, isn't it, that they do in the 4Runners? Good motor, not a powerhouse.
Yeah. I don't think. Yeah, I know that Tundras probably go up to a V8, and then Tacoma doesn't. I don't know. I never had a Tacoma. The 4Runner is my first foray into it, and I think it's cool. You know, it's got some cool stuff.
They're very well built.
Yeah, I wanted to get a Jeep, but it just wasn't enough room. Like when I got in the back seat, you know, in the 4-door, when I got in the back seat so if I got in the front seat and pushed it back to where I want it to be, and then I did the sitting behind myself thing, there was no room back there. But I think the new one has more room, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So, you know, and then I was looking at like I had this streak where I was like, okay, I'm getting all into overlanding now. So no one mentioned that to Lola because she's like, where's the overlanding? When is the overlanding happening? When are we going overlanding? I got a rooftop tent. I have a Tepui.
Nice
tent. Yeah, it's a good tent. It's a great tent. We've used it. I actually slept out in the wild once. Okay. I was in the backyard of Iraq veteran, but that was pretty wild.
The problem is in Florida, there are really not any places to go that are, I would call, after being out west and seeing out west, it's like there's a lot of cool places out west. Here, it all looks the same after a while. The woods are the same.
In Florida, I would only want a rooftop tent because there seems like there's gators everywhere from what I hear on the news.
Nah. Forget about the gators. You got to worry about it's like the spiders,
pussies. Yeah,
the damn mosquitoes.
Oh, mosquitoes, such a threat. Yes.
Yeah, those gnats and all that kind of stuff that eat you alive here. Yeah. Forget about the gators. That's just good eating.
all my times camping with the Boy Scouts, never had any problem. Well, in the gators, no. So yeah, I mean,
gators are kind of random in Florida, man.
You got to be near the water or very close to water to have any problem with gators.
Yeah, but I think I saw in Palm Beach or West Palm Beach, like last week or something, there was a gator there was this woman, I think, walking her dog around a lake or something. Gator just came out. Yeah. And got her. It didn't get the dog. It got her. Pulled her down.
Dog can run faster. That's why.
Yeah.
But once again, that's in like a lake or a golf course or a retention pond or something. So that's where they hang out. You know.
Well, you know, us out west, that's all we see on the news. So it seems like there's gators everywhere attacking people. They don't tell us about stuff that just doesn't happen.
That's just like sharks. It's like sharks, you know?
Yeah.
Well, they're out there. They're always out there, you know?
Yeah.
So what do you have in Utah? What is the Utah version of a shark or a gator? What do you guys have?
Bears and stuff, right?
Bear and mountain lions.
Mountain lions. Some bears too, right?
Yeah, I took my family a few weeks ago up to the Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. By the way, if you've never been there, you must go there. Most beautiful country on earth, I tell you. But we did a little hike. We went around, several miles around a lake, back into some beautiful falls and everything. And of course, I was carrying, and I made sure my wife and daughter had bear spray. But I laughed every time somebody walked by us and they had their bells on their feet, like the Forest Service tells you have bells on, so the bear noise.
It's like a court jester.
A bell. What the fuck? I never heard of that before.
Oh yeah, you're supposed to talk and
make noise,
country and make sure you're heard. But bells, to me, I'm like, that's just a dinner bell.
That just tells the bear how slow you're walking,
right? As long as I can outrun the guy with a dinner bell, I'm safe.
Yeah, I hope your Glock is like the 10mm variety.
No, unfortunately, it was 9.
Yeah. No, actually, I know some guys. Who was it that told? Oh, you know what? The Fort Scott guys told me I have to see this footage because they say they have footage taking down a bear with a 380.
What? Shoot it.
What?
Yeah, I have not seen it yet, but they told me they have this footage that they were hunting a couple weeks ago, and they took out a bear with a 380.
It's obviously not a grizzly bear, but probably a black bear and a small one at that.
Yeah. I need to see. I need to see it.
I do
see. I'm gonna get.
You have to get that spine shot or something to take a bear out with.
Yeah, or maybe they hit him right in the eyes or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's probably black bear or something like that. But I mean, you know what? You could do it. If it was defensive, I could see it.
Well, black bear have a weak constitution. You know, it'll take one archery hunters. It'll take one arrow to put down a black bear's off if it's placed good.
Oh, okay, cool.
Easy. Grizzly's a whole different story.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know what? Let's switch over a little bit. We're gonna come back and talk about this. Folks in the chat can let us know if they've got any questions for Novak Conversions. If you're just joining us right now, July 23rd, the Convoy across America that we're doing with Brownells. We've got several stops. It's starting July 16th, not this Monday, the following Monday here in Florida in Leesburg at the Aries Firearms Training Range. And then we're going to go all the way out to LA. One of those stops, July 23rd, is Novak Conversions in Logan, Utah. That's why we have Tim here from Novak. So, you know, we're going to talk, obviously we're going to talk to Tim in the next hour as well, but I figured maybe we switch into some gun stuff. You know, hit up some news. You are a gun guy, right, Tim?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Guns go hand in hand.
Huh?
Jeeps and guns, they go hand in hand.
Hell's yeah, man.
Well,
So what kind of stuff are you into? What do you have? What kind of guns are you considering out there? What kind of,
I've just the last couple of years started getting into handguns and learning more about them. I've been a big game hunter most of my life. I love hunting elk and deer. So 7mm mag, 300 mag. I got a 300 mag. Incidentally, I traded a set of crappy rims and tires a couple years ago for a stainless steel barrel composite stock 300 mag.
Cool. Nice.
I was in the right place at the right time, but
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Black powder hunt. I love the black powder hunt. The primitive weapons just add a whole different level of complexity to it. You really have to know what you're doing, and it's just fun.
Yep.
Get out there when there's less people hunting too.
Yeah, very cool. I've actually never been hunting. I do want to go hunting. Walter, we got to do some hunting. Now, here's I don't know if you have one of these. Check that out, Tim. What? This is what you need. You need to get you one of these. This is actually an ATI Mini right here. Hold on, let me lock it on me. There. Okay, Walter's got one. Walter has the. Where's your AK one, Walter? I can only find
right up here. Hang on a second.
Yeah. There we go. There we go.
No.
That looks like something from Men in Black. That's probably a lot more dangerous than it really is.
So now these are replicas, but you can, for example, take out the magazine right there.
Yeah.
So you've got the little. You can see the rounds in there, the 223 in there. You could take off the suppressor. Lots of good things. It's you can move the stock and all of that kind of stuff. You can adjust. You can adjust the optics, the sights on it, all that. So cool. These are from ATI that sponsors the channel, ATI Outdoors, and this is the ATI Mini. There's an AR-15 right now, and the AK that Walter was showing, which I have somewhere around here. I have to find it. It's packed up in the boxes. A nice little thing, like it comes in pieces, and you can actually build up your gun.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's completely California safe except for snowflakes. It's not snowflake safe.
If you're scared of your shadow, it's not safe.
Yeah, but it's a nice little thing to have, have on your desk and stuff like that. So, Brian Quick wants to know, what does Tim consider the best from factory off-road vehicle? Jeep, 4Runner, Land Cruiser, etc. Yeah, I mean,
without any bias toward Jeep.
No bias. No.
If you had to buy something and take it on.
Well, I come from the full-size world too. I mean, I started out in the hot rod market, and I built that 57 Chevy, and I grew up in car shows in California as a kid, and that's what my dad was into. But, for a brand new factory vehicle, I got to go with like a Rubicon. There's certain downfalls to the Rubicons. They're the ones that come from the factory from Jeep with front and rear lockers already and that type of thing. But for somebody that's going to put big tires on it and really work it, it still needs to have upgrades done.
Okay,
but I think,
right, go ahead.
In my opinion, out of those options, anything that's out there really right now, that's probably the most capable rig. The new JL Rubicon is extremely capable right out of the package.
Okay, so if it was a zombie apocalypse and you had all these dealerships in front of you and you had to grab one of those to like drive off into the wilderness or whatever, you would choose the Jeep Rubicon, right?
Yeah, seriously, no bias, no bias at all. I just know that's about the most capable rig in a factory application.
Okay. What do you think about that, Walter?
I don't know too much about the Rubicon, but I had a question related to the new vehicles versus old. Everything's electronic now. You push the button and it locks in the thing, and it does this. And I'm kind of old school, where you pull the lever and you know it went in.
Same here.
And if it don't go in when you push that button, it's like, well, what just happened? Is the button bad? It did, or you think it's locked in and then you get stuck because it's not locked in. So I mean and I know everything now new is all push the button, and there's no levers, there's very
not
little
all of it. Like in the Forerunner, it's actual manual stuff that you put up there. But the Forerunner's kind of old, right? They're still made in Japan, and I don't think they've changed anything on a Forerunner in the last 8, 9, maybe 10 years.
When I say levers, I mean locking the transfer case, going high and low, doing all that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Now Jeep has stayed with that though. Jeep has stayed with a cable shifter.
Okay.
It has some flaws, and we're going to design a better one to overcome the flaws that they have. But we make some really good cable shifters, by the way, the best ones on the planet. Other companies kind of reverse engineer them and try and come up with a better one, but they don't even do them as good. But we've got a cable shifter that we sell for XJs, TJs, LJs, and man, that thing is just smooth as butter, and it always works. They're flawless.
Yeah, because it doesn't do any good to have this cool ass gear train, and then you go to hit the button and it don't do anything.
Yeah.
No, that's true. I think I prefer something that's going to clunk into place.
Right. Like get out, lock the hubs like you used to do in the old days.
Oh, no, I don't want to do that.
Well, I mean, I've seen so many people that say, "Oh, my hubs are locked," and they go, "They're stuck." It's like, well, did you check your hubs? Hubs are locked. It's like, when you get out and you hear those things clicking the things, you're good to go. So I don't.
Yeah, I like. So you like something that you have to get out there and
right. I don't. But then again, it's simple. A lot of that stuff is really simple too. If it breaks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's easier to diagnose and it's easier to fix. I'll be honest with you. You can tell by the color of my beard, I'm not really young. I'm used to lock in the hubs and pull the transfer case lever back. I know it works.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Okay, cool. Okay, I don't know if there's any. Let's see. Andrew Slagle says Super Duty Ford manual locking hubs and floor 4x4 lever.
Just remember that Super Duty truck is a heavy pig.
Really heavy. Extremely.
If you get out and it's really muddy and deep, the key is to be able to go over the top of it, not go under it, So you better have good tires and lockers front and back on your Super Duty or you're going to be stuck.
Yeah.
And then the problem with that is big truck stuck takes big truck to pull it out.
Mm-hmm. Bigger.
Right. You won't pull that Super Duty out with a little dinky Jeep. It won't happen. It won't happen. It just won't do it.
You need multiple vehicles.
Right. Yeah. Next thing you know, we got straps going through windshields and all this stuff. So
don't get stuck.
Entertaining, but not a good scenario.
No.
Makes good Instagram video though.
Yeah, you got to
if you survive. Yeah.
When I was looking at that video, I don't think did they show video. I know there was like some pictures of Yeti's truck, Yeti and Yolo getting stuck in there, and I was like, well, yeah, okay, because I think it was like quicksand or something. When they got out.
He said they extricated themselves from everything really easily.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Let's go to some. Let's hit up some news and things like that. There's a couple things going on in the news here that maybe we would like to talk about. Did you guys see the video of the woman who climbed the Statue of Liberty? Did you see this?
No, I didn't see the video, but I saw of it.
Yeah.
All I gotta say is mental illness is rampant.
I gotta say she's not here legally anyway. So
I guess This was like a protest against ICE, I guess.
Yeah. Well, introduce her to ICE and then show her the door. It's easy.
Yeah. And so I'm even looking in this in this news conference or whatever she did. She's got a shirt on that says white supremacy is terrorism.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, obviously she doesn't know what terrorism is. So throw her in there with the ISIS fellas and see they'll show what terrorism is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty silly. I don't think she made it that far. I think she got up to like the base, which is, it's relatively, I guess that's something. She didn't climb all the way up the Statue of Liberty, but
she's not going to do that. No.
Yeah, she shut it down for a whole bunch of people that were trying to get there. All my time growing up in New York City, I never went to the Statue of Liberty.
No kidding.
Really?
No, never did.
That's one of the first things we did.
Yeah, that's for people, I guess, from that's for the tourists, Walter. It's like
that's for Americans.
Thing. It's a tourist thing. One day when I go back there as a tourist, I will.
Yeah, we couldn't go up in it because of those stupid Arab people. Yeah. But
terrorists.
The terrorists, yes, the shoe bombers and such. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it every day, man. Lots of places you could just look out. It's hard not lots of places. Yeah, certain places you could just look out your window and you see it.
Yeah, you should go see it. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, go to Ellis Island. Go see Ellis Island and just walk around and then just get the feeling of having to go through Ellis Island. Yeah,
no, that's cool. Yeah, I would totally. I would totally do it. But I think that whole thing with there's immigration did not stop in America. Okay, there's not immigration encampments where they are just grabbing up every single immigrant and throwing them into prison. They're not separating everyone from their children. There's certain things that are going on. There's people that are illegally crossing the border by choice with their children, and then they're getting arrested. You have to ask yourself, do you want your children to go to the same prison as you?
You get caught. You get caught selling crack. You're not going to. Your kids are not coming to prison with you.
Yeah, right. There's inherent dangers to with your children going to the same prison as you. And if you think that because they have their children, they should not get arrested, I mean,
well, I arrest them all and just
what do you have laws in place for? And I'm an immigrant to America. I just don't. I'm not really sure what these guys. This is how it goes down. And if you look, at situations, not even prison situations, in Katrina, for example, people went into what was that dome in Katrina?
In the Superdome.
Yeah, people went to the Superdome and stuff like that with their kids. That wasn't a good idea.
That was a cluster.
Yeah, there's lots of bad things that happen there. So at least your children are in a controlled situation. If you made the choice to get into this situation with your children, I get it. There's some difficulties that come along with that. I don't see why people are getting all batshit crazy.
Well,
and then the fact that she's here legally shows you that America's not trying to stop anyone from coming in. They're just trying to be careful, with certain parties that are coming in.
She just sunk her own ship because once you get a criminal thing, you can't come in. Not you're supposed to. Once you get a record like that, you're boom. See ya. Bye bye.
What is it with all these people who are sending their kids up here without them? Who would send their kids all the way across Mexico and Central America without being with them, though?
Yeah.
I don't get it. Yeah. I'm a little more than that of my kids.
Try that into Mexico. Push your kids into Mexico and see how that works. Push your kids into Guatemala by themselves and see how long that works.
Yeah, try to go across the border illegally into Mexico and see whether or not you get separated.
Yeah.
I think people aren't looking at this stuff rationally.
They look at it like, oh, the kids, the poor children.
I think the news media just has everyone all crazy and up in harm.
Anti-Trump.
This stuff has been going on for a long time. It's happening under Trump. Happened under Obama. Happened under Bush. It happened under Clinton.
That's why it needs to stop.
This stuff always happens. There's lots of situations here. If you, as a family, commit a crime, Americans as a family, they commit a crime. People getting separated.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's life.
So, yeah, that's the way that it goes down. I think we're just blowing all of this out of proportion. I'm not like 100%. People know me here. If I think Trump's doing something wrong, I'll talk about it. I'm not dogmatic to any president or whatever.
Don't enforcing the law, my friend.
Yeah, But yeah, a lot of this stuff is just like, I think, silly. And then that's leading to people trying to take out their frustrations, right, on other people. So here's something I saw that's kind of like picking up steam right now. Texas teenager attacked on video for wearing Make America Great Again hat. Did you guys see that?
I saw that. Yeah, that asshole needs to get.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this guy's clearly a bully. If you look at this video, it's clearly like a grown-ass man. He's got a beard. I don't know why he's trying to
picking on a 14-year-old.
Yeah, he's got one of those tactical beards or whatever. He's trying to be a badass for some reason. And so what do badasses do? They pick on children.
Apparently.
You know, and then he takes the hat from this kid, which is theft. You know, then he throws a drink in his face, which is
technically it's battery.
Yeah. You know, and why? Because the kid is wearing a Make America Great hat. What's wrong with that?
There's a lot of people that have serious issues like cuckoo issues, cuckoo. And we're seeing them all now.
You know, I couldn't agree more. My wife's a mental health therapist, and I've since become a little bit more in tune with that arena, and I have a lot more sensitivity to the people that are dealing with mental health. But man, when it's a violent nature like that, no, I don't have any problem separating them with their family.
Yeah, this guy's going to be caught. I don't know if he is yet.
I think he's already been caught, actually.
He has? Okay, yeah. This guy needs to get serious charges pressed on him. Let me think of some people. I don't have any problem with people being Muslim, by the way. So if there's someone out there in a hijab or something, am I going to go attack them because of something someone else did?
I don't do
if I see someone that's got an anti-gun hat on, let's say, you know, am I going to go attack them? Yeah. Come on, people. You know, if you see someone that's out there with a pro-abortion hat, you know, or whatever it is, if you see someone out there that does not agree with you, and they have the right to voice that opinion, whether it's from their mouth or on a T-shirt or a sign or whatever it is, and they're out there, is it okay now to go out there and abuse that person?
You might get shot.
Yeah, I don't. But
you might get shot in Florida.
Yeah, that could happen, but it's not a good idea to go out and do that.
Don't get in somebody's face and then start, acting like you're a badass. You might get shot.
Yeah, it's funny when people who say that they believe in freedom and this thing and that thing go out there and start bullying and beating up on a kid because he's wearing a hat.
Well,
disgusting.
Yeah. All right, you want to talk something on a lighter side now?
Sure.
Want to talk about what comes around goes around?
Yes.
A gang of rhino poachers mauled to death by a pride of lions after breaking into a game reserve. They found their rifles and their boots.
Oh, man.
They don't know how many were actually there because there wasn't much left. They found high-powered rifle with silencer, wire cutters, an axe, and 3 pairs of shoes.
Oh, so these lions just tore them.
The lions ate them.
Yeah, people barbecue. So the lions basically saw like, oh, these guys are over there poaching that thing. We'll let them do that. When they're not looking, we'll sneak up on them.
The only part of the body we found was one skull and a bit of pelvis.
Wow.
Everything else was completely gone.
You know what? As a hunter myself, I always go by the rules, man. I have passed on animals so many times because something in the rules dictated that I couldn't do that ethically. And kudos to these lions for killing them best.
I'm not against hunting and I'm not against trophy hunting and stuff, but I am against poaching. So, because normally when it's done legally, the locals benefit from all that activity. Even the stuff that if I go trophy hunting, I shoot a Cape buffalo and I just want the head, the locals eat the thing.
If that's allowed, it's allowed.
Yeah, right. It's all paid for, this permits. But when people go poaching, especially rhinos, I can't see why anybody want to kill a rhino.
Yeah,
but
I think
now they get for the horns, but for the stupid Chinese that paid money for the horns.
Yeah, there's magical properties and things like that people.
It appears to me that those hunters may not be the best hunters, or weren't the best hunters, because they had guns.
I guess the lions got the best of them, huh?
Yeah.
And when you see a lion running you down,
Have you seen you've seen some of the videos where line hunting goes kind of wonky and it almost gets the guys as they're shooting them? You know, it's like they're tough critters, man. You know, it's
the things out there in the world can hunt you back. If you now, I'm not a hunter. I've never gone hunting or anything like that. But I think that you have to realize that's part of the game.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when the game starts hunting you, that's part of it. That's called life. That's
a fair hunt. Then you know when they can.
Yeah.
They can
you can't go. Wait.
Time out. I gotta reload. Time out. Hang on.
Yeah. Take backsies. That's how it goes, man. That's part of the whole thing, right? You're a hunter, Tim.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in that position? You ever been charged by like what you're hunting?
I've known guys that have been, and I'll tell you what, I can only hope that I would react the right way in that circumstance to survive it.
Yeah. What about you, Walter? You ever been charged by something?
I've never been charged, but when we went hog hunting, you know, you're right in next to the hog, and he's squealing and fighting and everything else, and you get it. Yeah. So, they want to get you when you're trying to get them. So
it's part of the game. It's part of the right. You know.
And you gotta. You find out how much animal's in you when you got to fight with the animal.
Yeah, you know, it's like live by the sword, but die by the sword. You know?
Right. Die by the tusk or get cut up by the tusk. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're a hunter, I think there's probably something. Don't get mad at me, but I think if you're a hunter, there's probably something, you know, awesome in you being attacked by a lion and eaten down to your pelvis.
Oh no, I don't.
That's what you want on your tombstone.
No.
I think they got what they deserved.
You know, here lies Hank Strange eaten by a lion.
Here's what the lion dumped out after Hank Strange.
Yeah. If you go into this grave, you're only gonna find a pelvis, dude.
Hey, what's this curly looking turd coming out, man?
Just a skull with a mohawk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's all part of it, man. I think that's, look, if you remember, like right now we do it, people hunt and they hunt for different reasons. And but back in the like, you know, prehistoric times or however far back you want to go, it was it was man versus wild. Yeah, that thing might eat you.
Right, of course. Yeah, you got spears and all that stuff. Yeah.
You see these guys that archery hunt grizzly?
Oh,
yeah.
Not me.
That's hardcore. I knew a guy one time that did that, and he told me that this grizzly bear charged him, and he had to go climb up a tree, and then it was trying to come up the tree. And he didn't. He says he usually has a gun on him, but he didn't bring a gun.
Oh,
so I think when it charged him, he dropped the bow. And then so he went up the tree, and this thing was trying to like climb up the tree after him, and he had to stay up in that tree for a long time.
Oh man,
you know, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I usually bring something with me, but he didn't bring it." Hey, that's what makes it fun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's another story from Fox News. This is a Trump story. Just listen. The U.S. Navy, no sign of Iranian harassment of American warships in 2018.
I wonder why.
Are you saying the Iranians don't want it with us?
I don't think they want to get it on with us. I think if they try to play that game like they did with Obama, I think we'll have some sunken Iranian warships.
I think the thing that's happening, and I've talked about it before, and I was actually watching an episode of Joe Rogan, and they were talking about it, and Joe Rogan's not a fan of Trump, but he said Trump is so crazy that people don't want to mess with him.
It's not crazy.
Yeah.
It's not crazy. He just doesn't take anybody's shit.
Yeah, but sometimes you got to be crazy, Walter. I grew up in New York City. You know how you get out of
I heard this. Yeah. But I mean, if I call you a son of a bitch and you cower down, he don't do that shit. You call him a name, he's gonna say he's gonna come right back at you. You know.
Let me tell you something right now. Do never get into a fight with crazy.
Well, if real crazy, you don't want to get a fight with. But crazy people just act crazy and aren't crazy. That's different.
Yeah, sure. But can you tell the difference?
When it goes down, you will.
Yeah.
when it goes down,
stare.
Yeah. When it really goes, yeah.
When someone's really cray, I've seen it. I worked at a halfway house for a mental institution.
Yeah.
And I've seen guys go crazy, especially when they're on drugs. And they're like, this one guy was walking around punching all these holes in walls. I remember this night very vividly. This guy, he was like this huge black guy that was at the place, and he was young, and he was walking around punching holes in, and he went from being a really, really nice, like big baby kind of guy to being really angry and walking around punching holes in the walls. So they called the police. The police came. They had shields and everything, and they cornered him in a bathroom. And I went outside of his room, and I'm looking through the window, and they had him cornered, and they're hitting him with stun guns, multiple stun guns. They're hitting this guy with, right? Yeah. And they're trying to close in on him with with those shields and everything. And he's like still talking to me, you know, and he's telling me, tell him I've seen the light. I've seen the, you know, he's like talking. He was wide awake. When they finally got him down, I think they tied him to a stretcher with like the bed sheets and stuff like that. And they had him strapped down. This guy must have gotten hit like 50 times with stun guns. And when he went out of there, he was still talking to me. Oh. Wide awake. Wide awake. Don't mess with crazy.
Okay.
Leave crazy alone. You're probably better off going up against a lion.
I guess.
Yeah. And I think I know that you're saying that Trump's not crazy. I'm not saying he's crazy. I think that
that's the line they want you to believe, that he's nuts.
But when you look at these places, people know who they can mess with, right? Under certain administrations, they know they can mess with these guys.
Obama was bowing to those people.
Yeah.
And you can't.
They knew they could mess with. They mess with.
You can't bow when you go to a Muslim country. Any sign of weakness, anything like that, you're shit. You know, you bow. You. Oh, I'm sorry. You know, you're a puss.
Yeah,
I know you're a puss. Then
how many billions of dollars did we send to Iran? How much money was that we sent in cash?
What good? That did us a lot of good, right?
No, but what I'm saying to you is, when you do that, people know, oh, these guys are punks.
He's a puss.
Yeah. When you do something else and they go, oh, these guys might send a Moab after me.
When they sink your warship.
Yeah.
Without anybody getting off the warship before they sink it. Yeah. I mean, that gets people's attention when you fly a cruise missile into somebody's building through a window. Yeah, that'll get their attention when that happens. But All right, now on to happy news. What do we got for happy news?
That's happy news. I'm happy to hear that. You know, I think I like America when America's being like the cowboy. I remember being outside of America during Ronald Reagan, and everyone was like, for whatever reason, people were like, this American cowboy. Remember, that's what they call Reagan. Of course, and they were worried about what he was going to do. That always makes for a good thing.
Well, it always keeps people on their on their toes too.
Yeah, that's the way you got to go. Okay, go ahead. Hit us up with it.
Oh, I have a Jeep question. Aside from the conventional, I call conventional Jeep, like Wrangler or whatever. I mean, you guys do also like Cherokees and stuff like that? Because I notice a lot of people really do radical Cherokees and stuff like that. Is that because they're inexpensive to purchase, older ones, and build them up into something really bizarre. But engine swap is engine swap, so. You know, whether I want to put the LS engine on this transmission, you guys just provide all that in the mounts, and boom.
It's true. You know, those Cherokees, or XJs as we call them, everybody calls them frameless and shameless because they don't have a full frame. They're a
unibody,
yeah. So you kind of have to stiffen them if you get a lot of horsepower in there, and they have some frame stiffeners you can use and things like that. But you have to build it right if you're going to do that to it.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got to just connect the front and the rear frames, I guess we'll say, or the unibody pieces, or build a whole frame, I guess. I don't know.
Tie it all together. Yeah, these guys, it's funny because the guys that don't do that, if they got on an obstacle that has a frame twister to it, you'll see doors pop open, like the back will pop open, all their stuff.
And windows pop and stuff like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That just popped into my head. That's one of those questions. Because one of the guys that works for me, a young guy, he's messed around with, and he does it all, do it himself kind of stuff, buying axles and reinforcing them and building stuff. And so, yeah, he's constantly looking through Craigslist and stuff, buying axles from people and reselling them and all this stuff.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it's cool.
It's a good side hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Tim? You were going to jump in there. Oh, okay. All right. Let's. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna bring up something just weird. I'm looking at you guys, and I have a PC on the side here, and I'm looking at it, and I got a friend request from somebody. It was a friend with somebody I know that a friend of mine who died a couple years ago.
Oh, really?
So when you click on his request, the only thing it shows is his friend is my friend who died.
Oh no, don't trust that.
It's like, that's kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
Don't.
How did he know Jim?
Yeah.
Is Jim still his friend someplace? I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
You know?
What did you say, Tim?
I said, pretty sure it's not his ghost.
No.
Yeah. Trying to reach out from the beyond.
I
Don't trust that, Walter. Also,
I'm not doing that.
Also, don't trust those sexy hot girls that.
I don't. These ones that get these friend requests from these young girls, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't know this girl. No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even like a friend, a younger friend that knows the girl. No, it's not.
Yeah.
That.
You know, I mean, the first time I started getting those a couple of years ago, I was like, wait a second, did I get super sexy and I didn't? No one told me about it.
Yeah.
No, it's not real.
No.
It's not real. Do not trust that.
No.
Don't mess with it.
Oh, so let me ask you. This just popped in my head. Another Jeep question. What? You have like a favorite tire brand, a favorite?
No,
it just
I've got a project I'm just starting on right now. Are you guys familiar with the 67 to 71 Commandos, Jeepster Commando?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Kind of iconic lines. They're just, I think lately I've noticed kind of a resurgence in popularity because they just have classic body lines and all. Right. And I picked that up a few months ago, and I'm going to start doing. I've already got my engine for an LS swap and all. And I think the Maxxis Trepadors really got my attention. I've ridden with buddies and trail mates that have had those on, and they just grip like claws on the slick rock.
Okay,
I like them.
That's more of a rock crawling tire, or
yeah. Once again, it depends on what you're doing, though. You know, right. I put those new BF Goodrich KO2s, they call them, the all-terrains, the new version. Right. I put those on my tow rig, and I absolutely love them. Quiet, smooth, ride well. Love them.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different choices in tires.
Yeah. You know, there's a good tire for each type of wheeling or driving. Right.
What do you? Yeah. Are you a road warrior, or are you an off-road warrior, or a rock crawler, or a mudder, or
yeah. Or what would be your no holds barred, like money is not an object dream build, Tim?
Oh man, that M715. I keep going back to that M715.
Oh, really? I mean, I don't know why you haven't done one. They're not that hard to find.
No, they're not. I've just picked up this Commando, and that one's coming first. Though.
Okay.
Doesn't mean it won't come next.
Yeah, I mean, out west there, you should be able to find one that's kind of rust free, or rust less.
Less, yes.
So
that's the iconic lines for a good, tough military type look for me.
And the axles are stout. Right from the get-go and everything, yeah. So.
Yeah, I like those. Those are really macho. So what is a price for one of those, like in good shape? What kind of money are we looking at here?
Before you start messing with it, you can pick them up for $1,000, $2,000.
What, Walter? If you see one of these, we got to build it.
Right. But it might have an engine, it might not. You're gonna want to. You're gonna replace the engine because the original engines are pretty crappy.
Yeah, we don't need no stinking engines.
Well, so even if you just put a straight up old school small block Chevy in it, it'll still do anything you want to do.
We're gonna put a V8 in there.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think aluminum LS.
What was that, Tim?
A truck like that deserves a big V8.
Yeah.
But it can handle it because of the weight and the engine bay is huge in there, so you got plenty of room for engine.
Tim, when we find this, you are the first call that I'm making.
If you can find a pretty clean one for around $5,000 too, really clean one these days.
If you want one that's still kind of military.
Yeah.
I mean, with all the accoutrement, But if you're going to build it, you don't really need all that stuff, anyways.
I mean, I like how it looks because it looks a little bit like a Hummer, right? Like a Humvee. I mean, Humvee.
It's tough looking.
Yeah. I mean, they were, and they're tough built too. They're not like wimpy little unibody trucks or anything. They're serious.
Yeah. Now, are you building that all original, or because I know what
my Commando?
Yeah.
No way.
No. I've already got a high horsepower motor for it, and I'm going to do some more stuff to it to give it a little more. I'll be putting it on 37-inch tires, and I want to make it readable. It needs to be able to be a daily driver, but I also want it to perform really well out of trail events and it'll be in our booth at vendor shows, I'm sure, at times. So it'll be cool.
Okay, what kind of? Go ahead.
I was going to ask if you've ever done anything with a Unimog axle.
No, but I love them. They're way cool. There's actually aftermarket companies now building gear reduction units like that.
Right, you can put on the end of your regular, yeah.
Even for side-by-sides, it's crazy. I love the technology that everybody's doing these days. It really is opening up whole new markets. Look at LED lights. 15 years ago, there was no such thing as an LED light, and now it's a whole new $1 billion industry.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're so cheap.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's better.
That was the big thing. That was the big thing last year at SEMA. The lights.
I talked to the Chinese ladies about all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. LED, like you can literally power a solar panel from how much light you can give off.
So this is the newest thing. You have a battery on your solar panel, and it's like
it's just going back around and around.
The circle of life. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. There's LEDs everywhere now. Everywhere. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I would definitely Rhino line or bed line or whatever you want to call it. I would definitely do that.
Yeah, what's your feelings on the lining of vehicles and the outside, inside, all that stuff?
You know what? I don't like to disparage another guy's build, because whatever he likes is what he likes, and
right. Personally, you probably. Yeah.
I was really glad. I got a 2-for deal with these Commandos. Have you ever heard of the Hurst Commandos?
Hurst.
With a Hurst shifter.
Yeah, that same company. They took, supposedly, and nobody can find paperwork on this, but supposedly they took 500 units in 1971, which is the last year of this body style, right. And they painted them white. They put a red, a blue and red pinstripe package on them, racing stripes or whatever. Right. They put a hood on it that had a rear-facing tachometer to the driver and a shifter, and that was about it. But now there's only 107 of them known there's a registry for those, and there's only 107 of them known. And that's the one I was headed to buy. And then the guy that had both of these Commandos said, I'll tell you what, I got to be out of this house in 3 weeks. We're downsizing, and I'll make you a 2-for deal on these if you want to buy them both. And I'm like, okay. So I bought them both.
Go ahead.
So you got the Hurst one then.
What's that?
You ended up with the Hurst one then.
Well, that was my intention. And then I thought about it, coming from the hot rod background and classic cars and all that, I said, I can't cut it up. There's only 107 of them known at that time. I can't cut it up. So I just put it out there. I've got somewhat known in this area in the 4-wheel drive community. And so I put it out there on my Facebook page and Instagram, and I had people here locally that were just clamoring for it. So I sold it to a really neat local guy who's become a friend of mine. And then he goes, after he got it, he goes, oh, I can't cut this up either. He went and bought another first one.
Well, no one could commit to the first cut. Did these come with this hood scoop? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, from Hurst. Like I said, they claim that there was 500 of them, but there's only 107 left. So you can't.
You
can't do it.
Like it says on your website, I was going through your website looking at different sections of it, and it was mentioning about if you find a Jeep that's really nice, don't cut it up. Like if you were to find a military World War II vintage Jeep that's been sitting in somebody's barn for 40 years and it's all original, don't cut it up. Don't make it into a mud truck. Sell it to somebody and take that money, then build your mud truck.
Yeah. So armament. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Speaking of which, I was going to say when you guys come out here for the tailgate party, when we get Brownells and you guys out here, I've got some food trucks lined up and all, but we're also going to have an RTI ramp. I don't know if you've ever heard of RTI ramp. You guys at 4-wheel drives, they'll put one tire up on this steep ramp and see how flex it and keep the other tire moving around. So we'll have some competitions going on out here. We'll get that Brownells Jeep that we build on it.
Okay, I'm going to do that with my car.
Let's do it. We got a Ford.
I'm going to see how much I can articulate.
Oh, those guys are going to know right away at the dealership when that thing comes, when the alarms go off in the dealership. Yeah.
It's technically a 4x4. Well, no, it's all-wheel drive. But...
Oh, I saw an all-wheel drive Challenger the other day. I didn't know they did a Challenger all-wheel drive. I'm like, wow.
You know what the problem is? It's only V6.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I would have bought one Because people, you know, people are like, oh, why'd you get rid of your Challenger? How come you didn't get a Hellcat or something? I wanted it to be all-wheel drive. So there you go. I didn't want just rear-wheel drive. I saw that Audi has the rear-wheel drive R8 right now.
Yeah.
And I think they just bought like 320 of them to America, right? And believe it or not, they're actually half the price of an R8. They're like $130,000.
Okay.
So, but I don't want I want all-wheel drive. I want all the wheels driving.
Now that just made me think of a question here for you, Tim. Yeah. Gambler. You guys ever done the Gambler?
You know, I just learned about it this last year, just a few months ago, and so I started following them, and I just might have to do that.
Yeah.
It just started in Utah, I think, recently. Didn't it start in Oregon?
Oregon, yeah, they have it pretty regularly up that way, but it's
Explain to people what the Gambler is, Walter.
Gambler 500 is 500 miles off road. They do it in 2 days. You drive what you bring. It's supposed to be $500 vehicles. You can bring anything. They like weird stuff, but it's gotta be road legal, and it's not a race. Nobody's gonna come in first. It's all fun. They camp overnight. They have a big party when they camp overnight in the campground. The thing has grown by leaps and bounds. There's probably thousands of people that do it. But there's nothing. They don't do anything around in this part of the country. That I guess it's too hard to organize 500 miles off road. I don't know.
In Florida, a lot of that's going to be swamp.
Well, there was a guy that was going to start working on it here, and he went out scouting and stuff, and I guess life got in the way, and he couldn't finish the project. But it's just a fun off-road thing, and you're supposed to be nice to the woods and pick up the garbage and help each other out along the way, and it's supposed to be it's just for fun.
That's exactly how this Jeep community is. I've been blown away over the last. Well, I've been with Novak 7 years, and as I go to trail events and things like that, I'm amazed at the people that are in this community. They're so environmentally conscious about making sure the trails are kept clean. You don't go off trail and ruin everything around just for your pleasure. They're extremely responsible that way. And if anybody breaks down, you have got more than adequate help to get you back on the road. Just a great group of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In fact, Walter, you should come out and do this trail ride we do every fall. Either the last couple of days of September or first couple of October, depending on how it falls. We take as many World War II era flat fender Jeeps as we can, and really, truly, anybody's invited. It's about veterans. We want to get some dirt road therapy for veterans, and we call it War Hero. And we start at the top of Utah at the Idaho border, and we do a big photo op there, of course, in the Welcome to Utah sign. And we drive in the West Desert. Nevada borders us out there. We kind of foray into Nevada a little bit. But the first day, we follow the Transcontinental Railroad path until we get to Wendover, Nevada. And we usually have a little carnage along the way, flat tires. Last year, we had a guy break his oil filter off because his axle came up and hit it.
Oh, wow.
We had a soldier down that day. We had to leave him in Wendover. But so we follow the Transcontinental Railroad path the first day. We spend the night in Wendover, Nevada. And then the next 2 days, we follow the Pony Express Trail. Dirt roads all through the West Desert, and as many veterans as we can get out there and just get them some dirt road therapy, and we end up in St. George, Utah, down at the Arizona border, and have a blast for 3 days. It is
Utah. I've been to Utah, and Utah is awesome. Yeah. I haven't been to northern Utah. I've been more to the middle and south, but all out west is awesome. We went to Yellowstone last summer, and that area out there, and that's pretty awesome too.
Beautiful country.
Yeah. That sounds like a good ride, Walter. If you ever do that
sounds like fun.
I volunteer. Yeah.
Yeah, I just have to. I have friends with Jeeps like that here, and I might have to have one to put together. That's just a long way to. That's a long way to drag a Jeep out there, though.
It really is.
We tow it.
We want as many veterans as we can get, man. We love our veterans. We love to support them, and some dirt road therapy is always good for all of us.
So all these Jeeps are all like normal size, like old school type Jeeps. It's not like, or you said everybody can come along.
We let everybody. We had a couple of really nice guys from Los Angeles last year that saw it on our social media, and they just drove their JK all the way up to northern Utah and met us at the border and jumped in. went all 3 days with us and drove home. They were great guys.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, that sounds like that sounds like a good adventure.
And the weather's not that bad that time of year either. So
no, a couple years ago it was pretty chilly. I just slept out on an open flatbed trailer, and I woke up with ice all over me. Not frost, but ice.
Wow. No.
No, I don't think so.
No, I'll do it, but I'm gonna have to have some kind of super comfortable, warmed up sleeping bag that fully encompasses everything. I don't want icicles on anything.
That's probably a nice tent.
Yeah. No, that sounds like a cool trip. Armament and Axis says the last 4x4 he had was a 1975 3.25 Chevy pickup with 3-body and 3-inch axle lift with 38.5 monster mudders back in 1994.
Yeah.
So there you go. I'm pretty sure there's lots of folks out there enjoying the 4x4 talk. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. Nope. Square body Chevys, they call those in that 73 to 87 year range, are making a huge resurgence these days. Big time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, they're very popular, both in the off-road thing and then it's hot rod stuff too. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and they make all the parts for those things too, interior parts, all the body parts. I mean, you can get them for all the Chevys, but yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It's like Jeeps. If you want to build, if you want to build a flat fender Jeep, you can build a brand new one.
Oh yeah.
And you buy a body and just start buying parts, and next thing you know, you got a Jeep. So
yeah. And we can sell you everything you need to put a V8 in it.
Yeah, I mean, I think always for a Jeep, I think the V6 is the thing I would lean for. Yeah.
That's a good fit. It actually really is. You know, that this War Hero ride that we do, it's pretty funny. So one of our employees has a flat fender, and he's got a 283 Chevy in it, you know, and it runs circles around everybody else, and it's a blast. Well, there's a couple other guys that are veterans, incidentally, that come with us that have some old flat fenders. One of them's got a Kubota diesel he put in his, a little out of a tractor. Another one's got a little VW turbo, a TDI motor.
Yep.
And it's really funny because he's a full-time diesel mechanic himself, and so he built this thing amazing. It looks like something out of Mad Max, you know. And I went up to him. I was filming it the first year we did it, and I was filming it, kind of interviewing him and asking him about it. And it's really cool because he's got his grandfather's World War II sword for the gear shifter and some neat things like that. And I said, so Dan's his name. I said, Dan, so what do you think a World War II vet would think if the Jeep that won the war had a
Japanese
motor in it? Face dropped, and he goes, I've never thought of that.
It's resto modded.
Actually, I know you guys don't do it for the foreign engines, but that's what I was actually leaning toward, is getting a flat fender with a small diesel. Especially like a Volkswagen turbo diesel or something. Yeah, because it's
a really good little setup. He gets great mileage, and it's
a lot of power.
Yeah. What about a V10, man? Put like a V10 or a V12 or something.
That's in the part of the. There's a part in the website, Hank, that says about what not to do.
Or
what not to ask about.
Oh, I didn't read that part.
I think that's what that leads to. They don't want those questions. Can I put a V10 in my flat fender? My grandfather's Jeep.
You know, our poor salesmen get calls every day from some yokel that says, I got this Mercedes diesel sitting out in the yard. You got a kit for that?
Oh, no, that's cool. That's cool, though. Someone should do it, not you guys. If you want to, you can. But
and there's people who do it. They usually do it on their own.
Actually, Cummins, Cummins diesel, they just recently came out with that R2.8.
The 4?
A little turbo 4-cylinder. It's not a high horsepower, big torque motor, but it's going to be a great one. We just got one in here a few weeks ago, and we 3D scanned it so we can start making adapters and mounts.
You're going to the dark side.
Yeah.
Doesn't look so crazy now.
We saw that engine in SEMA. That's a drop-in package with that wiring and the whole 9 yards. Yeah,
it's a clean one. It's a nice one.
Yeah, and that engine will freaking, one thing about diesels is they don't care about water for the most part, as long as you don't suck the water in.
Yeah, as long as you keep it out.
Right, and lots of torque.
Yeah, so I think this is just in time for the rest of the world stopping making diesels. Yeah, just in time. Everyone's getting out of the diesel business. So is FCA still doing a diesel Jeep? I know they were going to, but I guess now they're not doing that anymore, right?
Last I heard, unless there's been another announcement, that they are going to do a little turbo diesel for the J case.
Yeah, I mean, there's a big market for it.
Yeah. There's a lot of clamor.
Yeah, I think if they have any sense,
there's also an international market for it too. Which
and we sell internationally too.
Yeah, we seem to forget as Amerikanskis that there's a whole nother world out there. And not all these places care about having all the fancy interiors and all that stuff. Most places don't have all that. So
yeah, Americans like diesel. I mean, I know. Well, maybe it's where you live. I know here in the South, there's lots of diesel. People, people appreciate it. Lots of people want it, huh?
Diesels are fantastic for every application except hardcore rock crawling. There's times when to get up and over an obstacle, you stab the throttle and have instant power.
Right.
And a diesel has to spool the turbo up, and there's a little bit of lag there. And there's hardcore diesel guys that'll argue that, but I've been there, I've seen it.
Yeah, there's everything has its place, and some things just don't work in some applications.
Yeah, but, just make a diesel hybrid.
There you go, complicating things again.
Right. Will Killer says Grand National Turbo 6. Some people want to see some people want to he also says Subaru H6 conversion. CB wants to see Gorn. Who's got Gorn? What do you have, Walter? I see you got a knife.
I got a knife sheath today. I have this knife that I got from my uncle when he died, and it's made by Utica Knives, who made bayonets in World War II. And after the war, they had lots of leftover parts, and I think some of those parts were like seconds. So they basically turned them into like commercial knives, and they sold this as it's called a cut master, and it looks kind of like a bayonet, but
it's kind of like a Tonto.
Yeah, the blade shape is just a reground bayonet blade. I didn't have a sheath for it, so I'm looking around on the internet, and I find this fighting knife sheath that one of the companies that sells like World War II uniforms and stuff like that. So I shot in the dark. I ordered it, $14. It shows up today, and guess what? It works. Nice. So so I'll be able to use it.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. By the way, Tim, Gorn is that is the cry for gun porn.
Gorn. Yeah, for those who haven't seen it.
That's what the folks call it out there.
If you haven't seen one of these except in pictures, this is the Strugorg. I don't know how you say it. SP9A1.
Yeah, hold that up. That's really nice.
It comes out of Slovakia.
There you go. There you go.
Kind of got the shape of a scar in the receiver, 9mm. Yes. We're gonna make a stock for it if you guys are looking at one.
Yeah. So you were explaining that the back plate there comes out.
That comes out, and then we'll make a piece that goes in and pins right in, and you'll have a collapsible stock.
Nice. Very cool.
Very cool. Just got this today, doing the shop today. So.
Yeah. So what are those running? Because I know those are because it looks like a B&T, but it's a little bit more affordable. Should we say more affordable? Yeah,
with the tail hook. With the SB tactical brace, which comes unassembled, you have to put it on yourself. It was $7.99. You can get them for less if you don't care about the SB tactical brace and you wait for me to make a really cool one. But of course, it's very, very nicely made, decent quality, finished very nice. The reviews, I couldn't find a bad review on them on the internet. They got guys testing every kind of 9mm ammo you can think, and it digests everything. So I think this is going to be the next hot little 9mm type CZ looking gun.
Yeah, I like the magazine. Can you pop out that magazine for a second?
It is. This is a 20. This is a 20 rounder. It comes with two 20s. They also have 30s that are available. I haven't found a 30 yet, but
it's kind of like a waffle thing with ribs in it, and then see-through.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a CZ mag, the CZ Scorpion mag. Mm-hmm. But everything is a really good quality. It's not like you don't get this feeling like it's cheap. Mm-hmm. And it is. It's I'm really impressed with it, and like I said, I couldn't find a bad review on the internet of it. So
and then that muzzle device comes off,
or is that half inch 28 thread on the end?
Nice.
We shot it today in the shop with a can, and ran fine. So yeah, we're gonna start making a stock for it ASAP, baby.
Oh, so, very cool, very cool.
We're gonna do a conversion on this mofo.
a Novak collaboration, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe I'll be able to get one of those $60,000 Jeeps after this one.
So
I would love to have one built. I'd have to watch it just to see how it's done, but because it'd be so much nice to get in, just turn the key and drive. So I'm all for that. It's like when you get your house redone and you can do it yourself, but if you pay somebody, they'll get done a lot faster.
Yeah.
You will curse a lot less.
Yeah.
It'll get finished.
Probably bleed a lot less.
The project will get finished.
Yeah. By the way, Tim, if you're ever looking, have you ever shot a 50 BMG?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I do those.
Oh, okay.
That's what
I want to badly.
Yes. Yeah, Walter can help you out with that. He makes a 50 BMG.
We might have to come out for that ride in October.
That would be a blast.
Yeah.
And we have miles of open desert country to shoot, by the way.
And you can bring guns along on the ride?
Yes.
Oh, now
everybody has an AR with them because you never know when a coyote or a rabbit's going to pop up.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, you're talking Walter's words now. If he could bring a 50, he makes a pretty cool 50. As well as some other stuff that he could bring out there. And I would bring something like this.
Quiet.
This is my 300 blackout, integrally suppressed. See that? Wow. With you guys can't see it, but it's actually a titanium suppressor in there from Liberty Suppressors. Is the Leonidas, and the upper lower here is actually polymer from Kaiser US. Upper lower. Yeah, and all these red parts you see come from GunTech USA in Arizona, and this, of course, is from Walter from Safety Harbor Firearms. That's the KES stock right there.
I always make stocks for the AR-15, the SIG MPX, the CZ Scorpion, MP5, and more to come. So
yeah,
that thing's a work of art, man.
Yeah, so this is one of my one of my favorite guns right now. Actually, I love this thing. It's pretty awesome.
I like how you qualify that though.
What?
Right now.
Yeah. You know how that goes.
Yeah, I know.
But that's that is a really cool gun. I'm really enjoying that. Yeah, that's a really nice setup. 300 blackout, integrally suppressed. That's the way to go. Do you have any suppressor stuff, Tim? You into suppressors?
I don't yet, but I'm really intrigued by it. In fact, we have a really good machine shop on site, really high tech, and a lot of these guys are.
Don't get in trouble.
Get a license first.
They've talked about this in the past, anecdotally.
Yeah,
this is strictly mufflers.
Hypothetical.
Mufflers. for the air locking differential exhaust, so it goes.
Yeah, you guys were thinking about making some fake suppressors just for the looks.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, just for the yeah. Well, if you're ever out this way, man, we'll get you some cool guns to shoot. I don't know how much full auto stuff you've shot.
Oh hell, if I go in the Jeep ride, I'm bringing a machine gun. What are you talking about?
Oh, there you go. And Walter has some really nice. Yeah, he's got some nice World War II era stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, we could bring some of that. Yeah, let the veteran type people shoot some of that stuff. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Some old
You'll go a full day without seeing another human outside of our group.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, when we were driving, we were out in out west, was it the Grand Canyon or one of those areas out there? Oh, when we were not Mesa Verde, but Arches, out in the Arches area and stuff like that. We kept hearing about the Jeep rides and trails you can take, and a week long Jeep thing. I'm like, oh, that'd be cool. Even my wife said, oh, that'd be fun. So it's like,
Yeah, I know. I was driving out and I saw every now and then along the way, you see some things where it says you can just pull off here and go off road and do whatever you want. I don't know if you've ever seen anything like that.
Yeah, there's trails and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got one off-road vehicle area that's called Sand Hollow down by St. George. It's extreme southern Utah. And we had some guys out for one of these events in October called Trail Hero. This guy was from New York, and he said, I got a question for you. can I like walk off of this trail? Can I drive off of this trail without getting in trouble? We're like, everybody here that's from Utah was like, yeah, why? Well, everywhere back east, if we get a tire off of the trail, we'll get sued. Like, drive wherever you want, man.
Yeah, you can remember in New York and places like that, you can't even drink sodas. So
Yeah.
just remember that. Walter, before we wrap, which we're going to wrap up here in a few seconds, John Gillian wants to know, he says he needs a stock for his CZ Scorpion Evo 9mm. He wants to know if he could buy it now.
Will, do we have any of those in stock right now? We're getting ready. Actually, I got told today we got to make more parts. So I think we do have some now. We don't have any tail hooks, but we do have the stock minus the tail hook if you're looking for a brace.
Okay.
And we have regular stocks too for the guys with the SBR stuff. But I think so.
Okay. All right, cool.
I just make the donuts. I don't sell the donuts.
Yeah. I know you're busy doing a lot of welding stuff lately. All right. You know what? Let's wrap it up here. Walter, what do you have going on? What do you want the folks?
Tomorrow's Friday, right?
Yes.
Or is it Tuesday?
I don't know.
I don't know anymore. But
it might not be. Maybe yes. No.
Well, stay tuned. Some Instagram, Facebook stuff's coming up over the weekend here. I don't know if I'm going to be seeing American Gun Chick. She was saying something about getting together and do some stuff with a flamethrower. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but stay tuned if it does. Just making the stuff in the shop, doing our thing, working on those stocks like you're asking about. What else can I say?
What's the Instagram account it's under, Walter?
Pardon me?
What Instagram account?
It is Safety Harbor Firearms. And then on Facebook, it's in Safety Harbor Firearms. On Instagram, it's Safety Harbor Firearms.
Okay.
Let me just double check that. It should be, yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. Safety Harbor Firearms brings it up.
Yep.
Yeah, not Safety Harbor Fire Department though.
No. I know some of those guys though, but no, it's not us. But yeah. So yeah, stay tuned. Facebook, Instagram. We post some stuff, and next week we'll get back to normal, like a normal week, and instead of this crazy holiday in the middle of the week stuff. But,
yeah. And Tim, there's like one last question before you tell us how people can get in touch with you. How did you even get involved with this Brownells convoy across the USA, convoy across America, #?
Well, it came about because of Yeti and Yolo and their relationship with Brownells. That was kind of the connecting point for us. And I've become friends with Josh Coburn that runs a lot of their stuff out there, and such a neat guy. You're going to have a great time with him on the road. And
I've hung out with him many a time. He's a pretty cool dude.
Good dude. Yeah, he's very motivational and inspirational, and look forward to getting all you guys here. But yeah, that's how we came across it, was through those two.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so tell people how they can find you one last time. And before you do that, I want to remind everyone that we are doing the convoy across America with Brownells, and of course we're doing it with Novak Conversions and a bunch of other people. It's starting July 16th, and on July 23rd we'll be in Logan, Utah with Novak Conversions. People can start riding the whole journey with us in Leesburg on July 16th, or you can meet us in certain places. So if you're close to Logan, Utah there, you could drop in, or anywhere you want to along the line. We're going all the way out to LA, and then I'll be driving back somehow, making my way back to the East Coast. So just tell folks how they can get in touch with you.
We are at the www on the website is www.novak, NOVAK-adapt.com. Our Facebook page, we're just Novak Conversions on Facebook. Our Instagram is Novak Jeep Conversions. Direct message us if you want on there. Hit us up on the website. We will have a new website soon. It's under construction. Ours is a little antiquated right now, but we'll have another one up soon. But the phone number, contact information, everything's on the website.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys want to find out any more information, if you're watching this video now or later or anything like that, there is a link in the description of this video for Novak Conversions. You guys can follow that or find them on Facebook or Instagram. They're really cool dudes. Tim, we'd love to have you come back, man. Obviously, I'm going to see you out on the road, but we'd love to have you come back and talk more Jeep stuff, maybe around SEMA time.
Absolutely, be happy to. And put a plug in for this event too. When you guys show up here on the 23rd, if anybody's within driving distance of here, I know guys coming from Idaho and down to Salt Lake area and everywhere in between. If you're within driving distance, you should really come. We're going to have food trucks. We're going to have tons of these awesome people to come chat with, and bring your trucks, your Jeep, your motorcycle, your hot rod, whatever, and just hang out. It'll be a fun night. Yeah,
I think Yeti and Yolo are going to be there, right?
No, they can't be.
No,
They're in training for that 36 hours of URI.
Oh, right. Okay. I'll be there. The guys from Brownells will be there. There'll be some other folks out there for that particular event. Walter, what were you going to say?
I was going to ask real quick about that 36-hour thing. Is that like an endurance type event?
It is. It's an endurance race, a challenge. It's kind of a military theme. It has a lot to do with marksmanship, canoeing, speed canoeing. Four-wheeling, extreme winching techniques, and all kinds of things like this.
Okay, cool.
They're slave drivers.
Cool. I've never heard of it, so that's why.
Yeah, I hope Yeti and Yolo win that, man. No one can be more deserving of that.
Fourth place last year, and they weren't even prepared. Like, they had a heavy canoe, not knowing that all these others had like a little lightweight $5,000 canoe. They were working off of cell phones and paper maps. And everybody else had these $5,000 lead nav systems. And
oh no, we got to make sure they win this time.
I think they're gonna do it this year. They're so focused and they're well prepared.
Yeah, they're good dudes, man. I really enjoy those guys. Okay, so we're out of here. One last thing, I want to remind you guys: tomorrow is Nikki, aka Liberty Doll, on YouTube. She's coming on the show tomorrow. So I know Walter, you'll be here. Tim, unfortunately, you're not going to be here, but you can still watch.
Yeah,
you can still tune in. All right, stay right there, Tim. All right, everyone, we're out of here. Good night. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Yeah.
We're out. We're out of here.